Good morning, boys and girls. I'm back again, and this time I'm going to read No Roses for Harry. And I think last time I forgot to mention the author. It's by Jean Zion, and the pictures are by Margaret Graham. And so this time, Harry, our dirty dog, he receives a sweater from Grandma, and it has roses all over it. He's not too happy about that. So let's see what he does with his sweater. I like this story. It's one of my favorites. No Roses for Harry. Harry was a white dog with black spots. On his birthday, he got a present from Grandma. It was a woolen sweater with roses on it. Harry didn't like it the moment he saw it. He didn't like the roses. I wonder what kind of sweater he would have liked. When he tried it on, he felt cozy and snug, but he still didn't like the roses. He thought it was the silliest sweater he'd ever seen. The next day when Harry went downtown with the children, he wore his new sweater. When people saw it, they laughed. When dogs saw it, they barked. Harry made up his mind then and there to lose Grandma's sweater. When they went into the big store to shop, the children took off his sweater and let him carry it. This was just what Harry wanted. What do you think he's going to do? Oh, look at here. Here the children take off his sweater because it would be too hot in the store, and they let him carry it. And look what he does. He puts it up on the table with the shirts. First, he tried to lose it in the pet department. But a man found it and gave it back. He's saying, "Here, children, your dog left his sweater." Then he tried to lose it in the grocery department. He puts it underneath another lady's shopping cart. He's being tricky. But a lady found it and gave it back. "Oh, here's your sweater." He tried to lose it in the flower department. Oh, he lays it around that flower pot. But a little boy found it and gave it back. He's just having no luck losing that sweater. The children didn't let Harry carry it anymore. They made him wear it as they started home. Harry was beginning to think he would never lose it. Then he got home. His friends were waiting to play with him, but Harry didn't feel like playing, so they left him alone. Oh, he's moping because he has to wear that flowery sweater. As he sat wondering what to do, Harry noticed a loose stitch in his sweater. He pulled at it just a little at first, and then a bit more and a bit more. Harry didn't know it, but a bird was watching. Here's the birdie. And he's pulling at his sweater. What do you think is going to happen if he keeps pulling at that thread in his sweater? Oh, there he is. He's pulling at the thread in his sweater. And if he keeps pulling, what do you think is going to happen to his sweater? In a minute, Harry had pulled out quite a long piece of the wool. The end of it laid on the ground behind him. And suddenly the bird came by and grabbed it. Oh, uh-oh. Now what's going to happen? Quick as a flash, she took the end of the wool in her beak and flew away with it. It all happened before Harry could even blink. Oh, no. He ran down the street barking. Oops, I think I missed a page. Sometimes that happens. They stick together. Oh, maybe not. Oh, there we go. The sweater began to disappear right before Harry's eyes. Oh no! Look at that. First one leg and then the other, then the neck and then the other leg. Oh, can't see very well. There we go. So the sweater is starting to unravel as the bird pulls the thread. It's taking the arm and then the leg. It's starting to pull apart. And then the neck and then the other leg and then the back. And finally, the sweater is all gone. The bird took the whole thing. It came all apart, thread by thread. He barked and jumped with joy, and then he ran out of the yard. He's happy about it. But what's going to happen when he gets home? And there the bird flies away with one big long thread. What's the bird going to do with that thread for Harry's sweater? He ran down the street barking "Thank you" to the bird over and over again. The bird and the wool were just a tiny speck in the sky, but Harry kept following them. He's going to see where that bird is going with his thread. What do you think the bird's going to do with Harry's thread? Let's see if you're right. He came home thirsty and tired and was having a drink in the kitchen when the children ran in. "We got a letter from Grandma," one of them said. "She's coming to visit," shouted the other. Harry thought of the sweater and his tail dropped. Uh-oh, Grandma's coming. Harry's in trouble now because he doesn't have a sweater anymore. Before Grandma came, the family looked everywhere for the sweater. They wanted her to see how Harry looked in it. Of course, they couldn't find it. Only Harry knew where it was. It wasn't anywhere anymore. When Grandma arrived, Harry ran to her with his leash, and then he sat up and begged. "All right, Harry," said Grandma. "After I've had my lunch and a nap, we'll go for a walk." I wonder where Harry's taking her. That afternoon, Harry and Grandma and the other children started off on their walk, and Harry barked happily and pulled toward the park. I wonder what he has to show her. Do you know? Have you guessed right what the bird did with that big long piece of string from Harry's sweater? When they got to the park, Harry pulled harder. The children let him off his leash and he ran ahead. He seemed to be looking for something. All at once he stopped under a big tree and he looked up and began to bark and wag his tail. Grandma and the children came running. I wonder what's in that tree. Have you guessed yet? Oh, look. Look at the bird's nest. Look carefully. What does it look like? Does it look like Harry's sweater? That bird took the string and made a nest, and it looks like Harry's sweater with roses. I love that. They got to the tree and looked up. Suddenly, one of the children said, "It's a nest. It's made of wool." And the other said, "It's the very same color as Harry's sweater." They shouted together. "It is Harry's sweater," exclaimed Grandma. Just then a bird looked out of the nest. "Look, Grandma, look," shouted the children. "Harry gave his sweater to a bird." "I wonder how he did that," said Grandma. The bird sang and Harry wagged his tail even harder. The bird took apart Harry's sweater, and Harry was glad because he didn't like that sweater, and the bird was glad because the bird got a nest. They were both happy. And guess what Grandma did? She made him a new sweater, and look at, isn't that a pretty sweater? At Christmas, Harry got a present from Grandma. It was a new sweater. Harry liked this one very much. When he tried it on, he felt as cozy and snug as that bird. But best of all, it was white with black spots, and he liked this new sweater better. The end. I like that story. Did you like that story? I have a couple garbage cans full of things that I've cleaned out of my garden when I clean out my garden in the spring, of twigs and leaves and all kinds of things. And the other day my daughter said, "Look, Mom, the robin's picking things out of your garbage cans. I bet, I said, I think he's doing that to build a nest, just like this birdie in the story. I said, I've left them there because, well, number one, the men haven't come around to pick them up, but I thought the birds would want to pick some things out of there to build their nests. It's fun in the spring looking at all the birds and watching them fly around and getting their nests ready for spring. Last year we had a couple bird nests in our yard. So I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope you enjoy the sunshine today and you get out. It's been such a rainy, cold week, so I hope you enjoy today and the sunshine and the warm weather outside, and you get outside to play a little bit. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.